Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1987 Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced American League Replay. We're at game number 154 on the season. This is the next to last game. Actually, it's the very last game of the May 1st date. And we are at the Kingdom in Seattle. It is the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Seattle Mariners. Look at our starting pitchers for today's game. Mike Trujillo for the Seattle Mariners. He's 1-2. And Mike Birkbeck for the Brewers. He is 3-1. Hello, Joel. Good to see you. Milwaukee comes to the game 15-6. Seattle comes in 9-14. Ballpark effects for Seattle. Once again, it's a home or dome kind of thing. Singles are 1-5, but home runs are 1-17. That's both left and right. All right, pitcher catcher hold. Trujillo is a 0 because Trujillo is a -2, but Bradley's a +2 for a net 0. Birkbeck's a +2. Surhoff is a 0 for a +2. So, hello, Larry. Good to see you. So, just on paper, it favors Milwaukee just on the pitching matchup, but that's why you roll the dice. You just never know what might happen. Let's get the full complement of statistics for Mike Trujillo, and they're not very good. He is 1-2 with an 8.68 earned run average. This is his 6th appearance, his 5th start. He's gone 18 2/3 innings, given up 31 hits, 11 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So not exactly a stellar first part of the season for Trujillo. He came over from the Red Sox in the trade that sent Spike Owen and Dave Henderson to Boston at near the end of the '86 season. But Trujillo is definitely having his issues. All right, for Milwaukee, Robin Yount will lead things off. Let's go through the lineup real quick. You can see there's really nothing there that's out of the ordinary. It's a pretty standard lineup for all the teams. Of course, Milder is on the disabled list, so the Brewers have to get around him. Hello, Chuck and Dav. Good to see you. Someone asked me once, why don't you let Milder keep playing? You don't worry about the injuries. Do something like a what if. But the whole reason for doing this project is to test the Strat-O-Matic engine. And the only way I can accurately test the Strat-O-Matic engine is to accurately have the as-played lineups. It's the only way it's going to work. Otherwise, I might as well play APA if I'm going to do that, because then it's just a what if at that point, because let's face it, APA sucks. The pitchers don't even come into play half the time. So, but if you like APA, go for it. Hello, Ron. Yeah, Tabby is sitting outside the door on her little blanket, so she's all content. She's gotten a good meal now. She's all, seems to be all happy and everything. So hopefully she stays that way, and hopefully we get by without any feline interference. Got her dice here. Supposedly Seattle Mariner colors, best I could get, actually. So Trujillo is finishing up those warm-up tosses, and we're almost ready to go. Hello, Frank. All right, we are now ready to go from Seattle, the Kingdom. Robin Yount will lead things off, and on the replay, Yount, let's get his numbers. Whoops, where'd you go, Yount? Why is he not coming up here? Come on, give me something here, Yount. There we go. Robin Yount is hitting 24 for 86, which is a 279 average, 5 homers, 21 driven in. And we're underway, 6-7. Trujillo on a 6-7, a 1's a single, and he also lines to short, so Yount will line it to Quinones for out number 1. That'll bring up Dale Swain, the shortstop. Swain is 20 out of 79, a 253 average, 2 home runs, 11 driven in. 2-6, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. Harold Reynolds, he was watching baseball tonight and was able to make that play. 2 down. That'll bring up Glendo Bragg's just facts. Bragg's hitting .307, which he's 27 for 88, 2 homers and 19 RBIs. He also has 3 triples, amazingly, already. And in the real season, he had 7. So he's already almost halfway there on his triples. It's a 4-6, and that's going to be a walk, 2-out walk to Braggs. Now, will Braggs get the lead? We have to wait and see. He needs a 5 or a 6 to get the lead. Does not get the lead, so he will hold, and that'll bring up Greg Crocodile Brock. Brock on the replay is hitting very well. 27 out of 75, a .360 average. 1 home run and 15 driven in. 1-6, and that's a fly to right field, and that's going to end the inning as it's put away by Kingery. And Trujillo negotiates the first inning with no issues. A walk and nothing else. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Milwaukee nothing. Seattle coming to bat. And Mike Birkbeck, the right-hander for the Brew Crew. Birkbeck on the replay, 3-1 with a .255 earned run average. This is start number 5 for him. In 4 starts, he's gone 24 2/3, 22 hits, 10 walks, and 14 strikeouts. So that's what Birkbeck brings to the table for this game. Leading off for Seattle will be John Moses. And Moses is really struggling in the leadoff spot. He's hitting 11 for 66, which is a .167 average. 1 home run and 4 driven in. So he needs to get off the schneid if the Mayor is going to turn things around. 3-4, and so far he doesn't do it. He pops it up to Brock, and that's 1 away. So Moses is retired. That brings up Phil Bradley. He's hitting 17 out of 85, which is an even 200. 2 homers, 7 driven in. 4-7, and that's a single, so that'll help the average out a little bit. Bradley will single, and he will look to get the lead. Needs a 2 through 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Any of those numbers will get him the lead and almost a guaranteed steal. But 11's not going to cut it, so he can't get the lead. Brings up the other Bradley, Scott Bradley, catcher. He is hitting .269, and that's going to be 14 out of 52. No homers, 8 driven in. It's a 4-6, and that's a strikeout. Birkbeck with the strikeout on Bradley. 2 down, and that'll bring up the big guy, Ken Phelps. Phelps on the replay, a solid .304 average, 17 out of 56. He has 6 home runs and 16 runs driven in. Nothing on the Havoc. And here's Phelps. 1-2 for Phelps. That's a line out to second with a max injury. Line out, low max. Possible injury on Phelps. So he's going to line it to Castillo at second to end the inning. But now we got to see if Phelps can continue. It needs a 1, 2, 3, or 4. Anything higher than 4, and he is out of this game. It's a 3. He stays in there. He fights it off and stays in the game. So Phelps will stay in the game. Won't add injury to the insult of lining out. But at the end of 1, we got no score from the Kingdom. I'm sure that won't last very long. Not with this pitching matchup that we have here. So we go to the top of the second. Hello, Prague and Kenyon. Hello, Hardwood. Good to see you. All right, top of the second. And we move on to Rob Deere. Deere is hitting .250, 19 out of 76. And he's got 4 homers and 15 runs driven in. He has struck out 29 times in 76 at-bats. 1-9, add that total, make it an even 30. He has struck out 30 times in 77 at-bats now, as Rob Deere. So Deere is out of there. Look like a deer in headlights on that one. And that'll bring up Cecil Cooper, the designated hitter. He's hitting an even .250, 15 out of 60. No homers and 4 homers and 11 runs driven in. tardy there on that second D6. 4-5, and that is a split chance. One is a single, anything else he lines out. So he lines out 2 Reynolds at second base for out number 2. And that will send up B.J. Surhoff. He's hitting .326 on the season, 14 out of 43, a homer and 2 runs driven in. It's a 6-12 against the lefty. It's ground ball shortstop X. That's Quinones. He's a 3.31. 3 and a 9 should be okay. 3 and a 9. First X check of the game. 3 out of 9 is a G3, so that's good. He's an E31, so he has to avoid these numbers here to the above of the card. He's got 4, 6, 3, 4, 6, and then 15 through 18, basically, is what it is. 3, 4, 6, and then 15 through 18. That's a 3. He cannot avoid the error. That's going to be a 2-base error right there. E31, a 3 is a 2-base error. 2-base error on Quinones. And Surhoff will take second base. First error of the game. And it's a 2-base error. Puts him in scoring position for Juan Castillo. Castillo on the replay in limited duty. He is hitting .235, 4 out of 17. No homers and a run driven in. Surhoff not being held at second base. Castillo, 2-6, 1-7 is a double. That's a 3. It's a RBI double for Castillo. And I can already hear Tabby crying at the door. So we're going to have our first feline interruption, I got a feeling. So let's see what Tabby would want. Hello, Mr. Utah Mike and Mr. Chris. Good to see both of you. Mike, thank you for the 1978 schedule for the NBC Game of the Week. I have altered my schedule to match that exactly, so that you know, we can show those games. One moment, let me see if Tabby wants to come in, or whether she just wants attention, or what she wants. All right, so a very minor feline delay. Come on, nobody wants to see your tail. Come down there on the perch. Come on, there you go. There you go. She does this. She comes in here for like 10 seconds, and then all of a sudden she's no longer interested and wants to leave. Kind of a snip snap back and forth. All right, come on. Out you go. She might be hungry. She might want more food. She's got food down there, but not the moist food. She's got dry food, but I think she wants some moist food. So I don't know if I'm going to take a break to feed her or not, but I'd rather not till the game's over. Anyway, we move on. I digress. So RBI double for Castillo, and the Brewers take a 1-0 lead. Of course, the run is unearned because of the error. And that brings up the third baseman, Jim Gantner. He's playing third while Molitor is injured. And they moved him off second, put him in third, and Castillo is playing second. All right, here's Trujillo. Nothing on the havoc. Gantner on the replay, by the way, is hitting .361, 22 out of 61. No homers, 4 driven in. It's a 4-4, and that's going to be a walk by Trujillo, so the inning is not over yet. Gantner walks, and that's going to send up Robin Yount in a clutch situation. And in the clutch, Yount looks like he's neutral and everything. He lined to short his first time up. 3-7. He's going to strike out this time, so Trujillo gets out of it with just the 1 run. It's unearned, but it still counts on the scoreboard. And at the end of 1.5, it is the Brew Crew 1 and the Mariners nothing. Burke back out, and he'll be facing the hound dog, Jim Presley, to start things off. Presley on the replay is hitting only a 163 average, 14 out of 86. 2 homers, 9 driven in. 2-8, and that's another strikeout for the Hound Dog. And he's out of there. Here's Alvin Davis. He's hitting 308. That's 24 out of 78. 3 homers, 9 driven in. 1-7, and he strikes out. So back-to-back strikeouts from Birkbeck. He has 3 strikeouts now. Let's bring up Kingery. And Kingery on the replay is 18 out of 60, which is a dead even 300. 4 homers, 12 driven in. 1-3. He's going to draw the base on balls. 2-out walk. And he's going to try to get the lead, but I tell you what, if he tries it and rolls a 9 through 12, he's going to be caught stealing. But 3 through 7, he would get the lead. So they're going to try it. 3 through 7, he needs the 3 through 7 to get the lead. It's a 10, he's caught stealing, or picked off. I call it picked off. So he's out of there. It's a really bad try there by Kingery. 9 through 12, he gets caught stealing or picked off. So he's out of there. And that means Quinones will have to lead off next inning. So nothing doing for the Mariners. At the end of 2, it's 1-0 Brewers. And that'll bring up Trujillo to face Swain, Braggs, and Brock. Those are the scheduled hitters for the Brewers. That's a 2-8 for Swain, and he's going to ground it to short. Quinones right there, 1 down. For Glenn Braggs, he did draw a walk his first time up. 1-4, he's going to ground it back to Trujillo. And quickly 2 away for Greg Brock. 1-6, and he's going to fly it to right field. Kingery is there, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning. With Trujillo not pitching like his replay record so far. He is doing much, much better. But still finds himself trailing 1-0. So that'll bring up the bottom of the order for the Mariners. Ray Quinones, Harold Reynolds, and then the top of the order in Moses. Quinones is 16 out of 77, a 208 average. No homers, 8 driven in. 3-6, and it's a 1-9 double. 10-20 is a single. That's a 1. It's a double for Ray Quinones. So Quinones, the leadoff double, he will not be held, obviously. And here is Harold Reynolds. Reynolds on the replay is 17 out of 70 for a 243 average. No homers, 3 driven in. And Harold Reynolds does lead the league and lead the team in errors with 6. So obviously he's not watching enough baseball tonight to know how to play baseball. Learn the fundamentals. 6-8. 6-8, a 1-16 is a single. That's an 11. It's only 1 star, so it's going to put runners on the corners. But nobody out, and now Reynolds will look to get the lead. He needs a 2 through 6 or a 9. And that's a 6. He gets the lead. So he's an 18, being held as a 16, but the +2 is an 18. And he's in there, stolen base for Harold Reynolds. So runners are at second and third, nobody out. Brewer infield is back. They want to cut off a real huge inning. Here's Birkbeck to Moses. Whoop, we got hopping dice. Let's re-roll that. We got a 6-8, switch hitter bang left. That's a 1-16 single, the same roll we just had, I think. And that's going to be another single. It's going to score Quinones. Reynolds will stop at third. And now Moses might be looking to run, as he needs a 2 through 10 or a 12. But 11, he is out. So something's going to happen. He's either going to get the lead or it's going to be picked off, one or the other. That's a 3. He gets the lead. 15, being held as a -2 for 13, but then the +2 is a 15. And he's in there, stolen base for Moses. So second and third, nobody out, and here comes Phil Bradley. Brewer infield is now in. As the Mariners having a field day running the bases. 6-5, and that's a strikeout and a big one for Birkbeck. One away for Scott Bradley. Infield is still in. Three-5, and that is a ground ball to first base A with the infield in. The runners have to hold. Brock will take it to the bag himself, and everybody will stay put. So 2 down, and runners still at second and third for Ken Phelps. Now the infield can go back to normal. They could walk Phelps and pitch to the Hound Dog, who's really been struggling. And let's see, that's what they're going to do. They're going to walk Phelps intentionally. And the Hound Dog, who's been struggling so much, they're going to go ahead and pitch to him. It does load the bases, but it also sets up a force at any base. And they have a righty-on-righty matchup. So Birkbeck to Presley, who struck out his first time up. 4-7. He's going to be a single 2 stars. So Presley says, take that. Trying to walk me. It's going to be a 2-run single. And the Mariners take a 3-1 lead. Phelps will go to third. 3-1 lead for the Mariners. And here comes Alvin Davis. .311 for Davis. That's a ballpark single check, 1-5, but that's an 11, so he's going to ground it to third. And that's going to end the inning, but the Mariners put up a 3 spot into the third, take a 3-1 lead after 3. And Trujillo back out. His fatigue is a 5, same as Birkbeck. They both have 5 fatigue, so this could be a bullpen game before too long. Rob Deere will lead things off. Struck out his first chance. It's a 5-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop. X. Quinones again is a 3 E31. He's already made 1 error. 15, he'll get to it. Check the error. That is an 11. I'm sorry, a 12. He's an E31, trying to avoid a 12. E31 shortstop. There is no 12. So we got a break there. So Quinones does make the play. And Deere is out of there. 1 away for Cecil Cooper. Hello, Tim, Tribe fan. Oh, George Foreman passed. I did not hear that. I am sorry to hear that. I still remember the George Foreman grill when that first came out. What a breakthrough that was in grilling there. Everybody had to have a George Foreman grill back in the day. That was the thing. Here's Cooper, 2-7, struck him out. Struck him out. That's going to bring off Surhoff. 5-8, and that's going to be a strikeout. So Trujillo, look at that, another 1-2-3 inning. He's holding his own, and then some, as the Mariners still lead at 3-1. Was not expecting this kind of pitching out of Trujillo, but he's getting it done. All right, here is Kingery, and Kingery walked his first time up and was picked off trying to steal, or trying to get a lead, I should say. 2-6, he's going to ground it to third, and Gantner will make the play. 1 away. Now, I think I'm finding it better to not score the game as I'm playing it. Just read the stats off the computer and then go back after the game's over. It takes like 2 minutes, or it takes less than 5 minutes to put to score the game in the computer once I've got it all done. But I think it helps my flow better doing it this way. At least I'm going to stick this for now. I may go back to doing it, scoring it as I play it, but right now I'm doing it. I'm going to score it after the game is over. All right, here's Quinones. He had a double and scored his first time up. 6-10, and that's a walk. So 1-out walk to Quinones. He will not be held. And Harold Reynolds, the batter. Reynolds singled his first time up. 2-6, and that's a pop out to short. As Swain brings it in for the quick 2 outs. Runner still at first for John Moses. 111, and he struck him out. That's going to end the inning. So we played 4 from the Kingdom, and it is still 3-1 in favor of the Mariners. That'll bring up Castillo, Gantner, and Yount here in the top of the 5th. This is the fatigue inning for both pitchers. 5-2, and that's a ground ball first base. See, there's a dot there, but we just started the 5th inning, so he is not tired. This will be a grounder to Davis, who flips to Trujillo covering, and that's 1 away. Here's Gantner. 3-9, and that's a walk. That's the first ding on the point of weakness. Gantner has walked twice. He gets the lead on a 7. 7 would get him the lead. Does not get that lead. It's a 1, though. So that means there's a chance that he is going to be picked off. His safe range is an 11. He's got to roll a 1 to an 11 to be safe. And after that, he cannot get the lead anymore. Or 12 or higher, he gets picked off. And that'll be the second pickoff by in this game, I should say. 13, he gets picked off. So each pitcher has picked off one of the opposing base runners. Gantner got picked off. That's what happens when you try for the lead and you roll that D20, you get the 1. It brings in the pickoff, and you use that secondary number, and you re-roll the 20. If it falls within that range, he gets back. If it's higher than that, he's out. That was a 13, so it's higher than the 11, and Gantner is out of there. So 2 down, base is clear for Yount. 4-5, and that's a ground ball to second. And Trujillo cruising along through 5. He's going to obviously continue into the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 3-1 Mariners. Birkbeck, this is also his fatigue inning. Going to face Bradley, and Phelps. 5-7, that's a ground ball second base X. And that's going to be Castillo, a 3E21. Hello, alternate. How you doing? 3 and a 5. That's iffy. 3 and a 5 is going to be a G3, so he's going to get to it. His error rating at second base is the E21, so he's got to avoid 4, 13, and 17. And typically 13 is the one that comes up the most. But he does avoid it, so he makes the play. And there's 1 away. Here comes the other Bradley, Scott Bradley. He's 0 for 2. 3-11, and that's going to be a fly to center field. 2 down, and that'll bring up Phelps. 6-11, ballpark single check, 1-5. That's an 18, so he's going to line it to second. And both pitchers will continue past the 5th, as they both have full endurance. Start at the top of the 6th. It will be Swain, Braggs, and Brock due up against Trujillo. And Dick Williams is loving the outing he's getting from Trujillo right now. 3-9 for Swain. A 1 to 10's a single. That's a 6, so it's a base hit for Swain. And he will not be held, will not go anywhere. Here's Glenn Braggs. Braggs is 0 for 1 with a walk. 1-11. Ballpark blast. 1 to 17. It's gone. No doubt about it. First time the ballpark blast has come up in the game, and the Kingdom, you're going to get the blast most times, more than not. 1-11, right-handed, right here. Ballpark blast. That's a 6. That's a 17. It's gone. So for Glenn Braggs, that is going to be a 2-run home run to tie the ball game. And for Braggs, that is home run number 3, RBIs 20 and 21 for Glenn Braggs. And now Trujillo is on the verge of fatigue, and the Seattle bullpen is loosening. They do have action in the Seattle bullpen. They have left-hander Stan Clark loosening in their bullpen. So lefty Stan Clark trying to get ready as quick as he can. Here's Greg Brock. 610, and that's a ballpark blast. And that's gone. Back-to-back jacks. Look at it again. 610. Ballpark blast. Home runs 1-17. That's a 17. He's got normal power. So the Brewers have just reclaimed the lead 4-3. Back-to-back jacks. And for Brock, that is home run number 2, RBI number 16. And Deere is going to be the last batter that he's going to face. We're going to have Clark come in for the lefties, Cooper and Surhoff. So he gets one more chance, Trujillo does, to face Rob Deere. He is fatigued. That's a 3-7, and that's a walk. So that's going to do it for Trujillo. He was great through 6 innings and then just kind of all lost it at one time. So he will exit. And the Mariners will go with a left-hander, Stan Clark. Recent addition to the roster. And I do believe this is his first outing of the season. Stan Clark. Let me look and make sure it's his first outing. I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, it is. This is his initial outing. For the season, he was 2-2 with a 5.48 earned run average in real world, 23 innings pitched, 31 hits, 10 walks, 13 strikeouts. He gave a whip of 1.78, which is not very good, obviously, but he's a lefty, and they had been overworking the other lefty, Wilkinson, too much, so they figured now is the time to bring in a lefty. And he's going to get to face Cooper. His hold is a 0, so that's going to make them a +2. So for Trujillo, he's going to go 5+. Didn't get anybody out in the 6th inning. He's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, 4 runs so far, but he is responsible for this runner here. 3 of them are earned. So we can't put the runs in just yet. Walks 1, 2, 3. He walked 3. Struck out 1, 2, 3, 4. And so far he's given up 4 runs, 3 earned, but Deere is also his responsibility. So can't fill it in just yet. So Cecil Cooper will be the batter. Deere not being held at first. Nobody out. Top of the 6th. 3-5 against the lefty is a fly to right field. And Cooper flies out for out number 1. Brings up Surhoff. Another lefty on lefty matchup. 6-8, and that's a split chance. 1-3 is a single. That's an 8 though, so he's going to line it to second. And that's 2 down. And that will send up Castillo. 6-4, switch hitter batting right-handed. Fly ball center field X, that's Moses. He's a 2-E5. 2-10, he'll get to it. E5. And that's a 6. That should be okay, you would think. Let's check it out. E5, center fielder. There is no 6, so it's good play. And that's going to end the inning. So we can close the book now on Trujillo. 4 runs, 3 earned. So Clark did a nice job coming in relief, getting out of the inning. But now the Brew Crew have reclaimed the lead 4-3. And Birkbeck is going to come back out. He'll be facing Presley, Davis, and Kingery here in the bottom of the 6th. He has full endurance. 1-5, and that's a strikeout. Presley's out of there. And maybe Birkbeck's a little bit energized by those 3 runs. 4-10, maybe not so energized. 1-5 is a home run. That's a 14. You got a break. Deep fly to right. Davis is out of there. Hello, D. Scott. How are you doing? Kingery now. 2 out spaces clear. 5-3. Ground ball first base X. That's Brock. He's a 3-E10. 3-17. He'll get to it. E10. E10 and an 11. for first baseman. E10, there's an 11 sitting right here, E1. So it's going to be an error on Greg Brock. So Brock boots it, keeps the inning going. Kingery was picked off last time, so I don't think he's going to try to steal this time. Or maybe he will. I think they got to get him in scoring position with 2 outs, so I think it's worth the gamble. 3 through 7, he gets the lead. 7, he gets the lead. So he does get the lead. So 15 being held to 13 plus 2 is a 15. 1 to 15, he steals second. And he does. Stolen base. That manager on that other channel would have never tried that. But we do that here. All right, here's Quinones in a clutch situation. He will lose a hit on 1-9. And everything else is, and he loses a hit on 2-3. That's a 6-8, and that's a double to center field. Look at that. That ties the game. We got a tie game at 4. That run is unearned, but it doesn't matter. It counts. 6-8 was a double, and now the Milwaukee bullpen is starting to stir. We are tied at 4 apiece. Still 2 outs, and here's Harold Reynolds. Go-ahead runs in scoring position. 5-6, and he's going to line it to first base, right to Brock to end the inning. But we are now tied at 4 apiece after 6 complete innings of play here at the Kingdom. But does get Trujillo off the hook. He cannot lose it anymore. Birkbeck could still win it if the Brewers score some runs this inning, because anything gained in this inning still belongs to him because he's the only pitcher in the game. It'll be Gantner, and then Yount and Swain do up against Clark here in the top of the 7th. That's a 4-7. 4-7. That's an in-home run chance, 1-4, but that's a 16. I'm sorry, it's a 1-6, but that's a 16. He flies to right. So Gantner, he had weak power anyway. It wouldn't have been a home run either way. As lefty on lefty, he had the weak power. So wasn't going to work either way you go. And that will send up Robin Yount. Whoop, the blue die didn't go through. We're going to re-roll that. 5-5 against the right-hander Yount is a single. So Yount gets the single. The go-ahead run is now on base. Yount looking to get the lead. It would be a 1-16 if he can get the lead. Needs a 5 or a 6. He gets the 6. It's a 1-16 because you got the 16, 2 from being held to 14, and then the +2 from Clark. We'll make that a 16 again. And he steals it plus a 2. Possible throwing error on Bradley. His T rating is a 6. But no throwing error, just a stolen base for Yount. Gets him in scoring position with 1 out for Dale Swain. Switch hitter will turn around, bat right-handed. Clark trying to get Swain. 5-2. 5-2 is a ground ball second base X. That's going to be Harold Reynolds. Did he watch enough baseball tonight? He's a 2. He did. Well, at least he got to it. 2-12. E21. And that's a 13. I don't like that 13. E21. There's a 13 right there. Harold Reynolds, his 7th error of the season. He really needs some remedial baseball tonight viewing because it's just not working for him. He makes another error. That's going to put runners on the corners. And that is error number 2 on the Brewers. I'm sorry, on the Mariners. 1 by each middle infielder, Quinones and now Reynolds. And now we got Glenn Braggs coming up, and we might be seeing, hello, Mr. RJL. We got bullpen activity for the Mariners. So let's see let me look and see who might need the work and who make sure we don't overwork anybody. Jerry Reed has pitched 11 games already, so he would kind of be my last resort. Don't really want to go to him. So otherwise, we have Mark Huseman, who has pitched 9 games, Ed Nunez, who's pitched 8 games, Bill Wilkinson has pitched 9 games. Nunez is their closer, so kind of take him out of the equation. So that brings it down to Huseman. Could be looking at Huseman to come on. And I think we will. I think there's going to be with Glenn Bragg's a right-hander. I just don't think Dick Williams trusts it. So I think I'm thinking he's thinking about maybe, going to somebody else because they don't want to deal with that. So I think we're going to get a call to the bullpen. Pretty sure we will. All right, help is on the way for Seattle. It's Mark Huseman. He will be coming on. And Huseman on the replay is not doing too well. He's 0-2 with an 8.76 earned run average. This is his 10th appearance. So far, 12 1/3 innings pitched, 19 hits, 2 walks, and 12 strikeouts. Yes, indeed, Joel. Yes, indeed. All right, so Huseman is a -2. That's going to make that back to a 0 as far as getting the leads. But runners are on the corners with only 1 out thanks to the Harold Reynolds error. And just look her on here. I don't know what that's doing there. So Glenn Braggs is up infield. Swain, first of all, check Swain. I don't think he has to be held. No, he does not. They're not holding Swain on. They're going to play for the double play. See if they can turn 2, get out of the inning. 1-8 for Braggs, struck him out. So that's not the double play, but it certainly helps. It's a strikeout. And now with 2 outs, he just has to get Greg Brock out to get out of the inning. Although Brock did homer his last time up. That's a 3-7, and that's a walk. It's going to load the bases. And now a really bad situation as Rob Deere comes up. But Deere that is always that strikeout. You can hit his card. He's got a lot of strikeouts to hit. So Huseman has a chance to get out of this thing. Whoa, we got hopping dice again. Boy, these dice are full of energy. For sure. Full of energy. This one fell all the way to the floor. And we'll have to redo. .39, and there's that strikeout they were looking for, and he gets out of it. So Huseman gets out of the trouble, and nothing is going to be charged to Clark. Clark's going to go 1+ innings, give up a single, nothing else, no walks, no strikeouts, nothing else, because Huseman got him out of the jam and keeps the score at 4-4. Now, the thing about Birkbeck, do you go with Birkbeck or does Seattle go to their does Milwaukee go to their bullpen? Let's look and see who Milwaukee has in their bullpen and what their fatigue status is. For the Brewers, Clear has pitched 8 games, Mirabella 5. He's a lefty. Krim 8 games. Basio 8 games. So there's lots of possibilities there in who is available. Of course, Plezak's a closer. You're not going to use him yet. So coming up for Seattle, it is Moses, Bradley, and Bradley switch right and left with another left behind him. So So the temptation there is to go with the left-hander Paul Mirabella, and that's what they will do. Paul Mirabella will be the new pitcher for the Brew Crew. Mirabella, the left-hander, and we'll get the numbers on Birkbeck. He's going to get a no decision. He's going to go 6 innings. And let's see, one of the runs is unearned, so he gave up 4 runs, 3 earned, just like Trujillo did. Hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. He walked 1, 2, 3 walks. One of them was intentional. Struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is the line for Birkbeck. Not a bad line, but he gets a no decision, which I guess is better than a loss, depending on how you want to look at it. But Paul Mirabella, a lefty, will be coming on for the Brew Crew. And Mirabella will be making his 6th appearance, but he's a kind of a specialist. He's pitched 5 games so far, but only 3 2/3 innings. 5 hits, but no runs. Got an ERA of 0. No win-loss record, no saves. He has walked 4 and struck out 2, though. So he's walked 4 in 3 2/3 innings, and that can be his bugaboo, doing those walks. And he's going to be facing the top of the order for the Mariners. Moses, Bradley, and Bradley will be the ones that are up. So we are at the 7th inning stretch. 7th inning stretch. And you could sing "You're Taking Me Out to the Ball Games." All right. We are ready to go. Bottom of the 7th. It'll be John Moses, switch hitter. Turn around will bat right-handed. He is 1 for 3 on the game. We get a 1-3, and he's hit by the pitch. So Mirabella comes in and plunks Moses. And now Moses will be looking to run, get that lead. Mirabella is a -1. Suroff's a 0, so it is a -1. So it'd be a -3 if he got to be a 1 through 12 if he got the lead. If they want to risk it, it'd be a 1 through 12. But we're all about risk around here. That's a 5. He gets the lead. So it's going to be a 1 to 12 to steal the base. He's a 15, -2 for being held, is a 13, -1 there, it's a 12. 1 to 12, he steals it. And he does, right on the number. Stolen base for John Moses. He's in scoring position, the go-ahead run. That'll bring up Phil Bradley. Moses not being held at second base. 5-10 against the right-hander is a ground ball third base B. That's going to freeze the runner at second base, and Moses had to hold. And now here's Scott Bradley, lefty on lefty matchup. But we are in the 7th inning, so pinch hitting is now in vogue. And the Mariners will take advantage of that pinch hitting as they will pull Scott Bradley. He will get the rest of the game off. The new catcher coming in will be Bob Kearney, but we'll get a different pinch hitter. The pinch hitter in the game is going to be a right-hander, Donnell Nixon. So Nixon will pinch hit for Bradley. And then Kearney will come into the game to catch. So Nixon pinch hitting here in the 7th. And then Kearney will catch in the 8th. So Nixon is your man. And on the replay for Nixon, let's get his numbers. Donnell Nixon on the replay is hitting .290. He's 18 out of 62, 2 homers and 8 driven in. Got a runner at second in Moses with 1 out. Nothing on the havoc. Mirabella to Nixon. 3-9, struck him out. So 2 down, and it's up to Ken Phelps. You're not going to pinch hit for Ken Phelps, not when he can swing the bat like he does. So it is a lefty-on-lefty matchup with Ken Phelps. That's a 6-10, and that's a ground ball shortstop. X, we're looking at Swain. He's a 3E25. 3-14, he'll get to it. E25 is the question mark. E25 and a 12. Feel pretty good about a 12. We'll see. E25. Yep, there's a 13 there, but no 12. So Swain makes the play and the inning's over. So nothing doing there. We've completed 7, and we are still tied at 4 apiece here at the Kingdom. Huseman will come back out. He's only faced, let's see, actually I was wrong here. Clark pitched an inning and a third. I didn't catch, he got the guy out down here. So inning and a third for Clark. Inning and a third for, and this also reminds me, at lunch today at work, went to the dollar store and picked up another one of these. So I'm back in business with correction tape. So not to be any messy anymore. So it is an inning and a third. New correction tape, so we're good to go. So Huseman is going to be facing Cooper, Surhoff, and Castillo here in the 8th inning. 4-4 tie here in the top of the 8th. 5-4, and that's an in-home run chance. 1-14, that's a 2. It is gone. Cecil Cooper, the aged veteran, the venerable one, hits a home run. And for Cooper, that is home run number 5, RBI's number 12. So home run number 5 for Cooper. And that gives the Brewers a 5-4 lead. Look at it again, 5-4, left-handed. In home run 1-14, that's a 2. He's got normal power. So it is now 5-4. Favor the Brewers. Here is Surhoff. 3-6 for Surhoff. He's going to ground it to short. Quinones makes the play. Kearney is the new catcher, by the way, for Seattle. Here is Castillo. 4-8. Switch hitter Bain left is a strikeout. So Castillo out on strikes. 2 down for Gantner. But the Brewers now enjoying that lead. 1-7 for Gantner, and that's a 1-2 home run, but that's a 16, so it'll be a double. Gantner does double, a 2-out double for Gantner. And he's in scoring position for Robin Yount. Huseman to Yount. 6-7, and that is a strikeout to end the inning. But damage done on the home run from Cecil Cooper. And the Brewers lead it 5-4 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. That'll be all for Huseman. He is done. Huseman's going to go an inning and 2/3. He is going to strike out 4, walk 1, give up the 1 run and 2 hits, the home run and the double. And we'll figure out who they're going to have coming in later. For the Brewers, Mirabella is going to go 1 inning. Now he is done. He will leave. And let's see. Or will he? You got righty, lefty, lefty. But they could pinch hit for Kingery. So I think the Brewers are going to go to the bullpen for a right-hander. So we'll go to the bullpen for right-hander. And it will be the right-hander Mark Clear. Mark Clear will be coming on for the Brew Crew. So we'll get the numbers on Mirabella. He went 1 inning, gave up nothing, got a strikeout, did hit a batter, but gave up nothing else. So Clear will be on, and Clear is a +1 hold rating. But we start the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Presley, Davis, and Kingery due up. All right, here's Presley. 2-6, struck him out. So Presley is out on strikes. Here comes Alvin Davis. 6-4, catcher X. First catcher X of the game. Surhoff's a 3. 3-1. That could be interesting. That might actually be a hit. 3-1. W/S, I do believe that's going to be a hit. Check for an error. He's an E5. So he's got to avoid 4, 16, 17, and 18. Whoops. And, of course, didn't go through, so we got to redo it again. That's a 6. E5, there is no 6. It's a W/S, which simply means it's a squibber. The batter hits a squib single. So, squib single for Alvin Davis. He is the tying run. Now, do they pinch run for him? They have, and who they have on the benches can run. Not really many people. Renteria runs at a 14. Then they got to figure out who would play first base. That shouldn't be too hard, though. Got to have somebody can play first base. You would think. Well, the only one I can see play first base is Ken Phelps, and he's the DH. You'd lose the DH if you did that. So I think they're going to, at least for now, until somebody gets in scoring position, they're not going to worry about a pinch runner. So it'll be Kingery due up. Davis, of course, not being held. Clear to Kingery. 4-7, and that's another walk. Single and a walk by Clear. And now it's getting interesting. First and second with only one out. And Quinones, the batter, he has doubled twice. He's 2 for 2 with a walk with two doubles. Clear has to settle in. Brewers looking for the double play. 4-6, and they get a strikeout, which is not a double play, but it's pretty good anyway. And now that'll bring up Harold Reynolds. And do they want to let Harold Reynolds hit? Well, he hit 275 in 1987, so we're not. He's a switch hitter, so we're not going to pull him out. Clutch situation for Reynolds, and in the clutch, he loses 2 hits here on a 9-10, 1-9-10. He loses 2 hits. He also loses 2 hits on a 2-9-10. So there's four spots that he loses hits. That's a 4-7, and that's another walk. It's going to load the bases. So the bases are now loaded for John Moses, center fielder. Clear has to bear down. Four, 5, and that's a strikeout, a huge one, and that's going to end the inning. The Mariners leave them loaded. How about that? They left them loaded. And we go to the 9th. And we'll figure out what Seattle wants to do for another pitcher. I think they will use Nunez. Ed Nunez will be coming on, the right-hander. So he will come on in relief to face Swain, Braggs, and Brock. Nunez is a -4 hold, which certainly helps. The new catcher for the Mariners, Kearney, his arm is a +1. So -4, that's a -3. So Nunez on the season, he is their default closer, I guess you want to call it that. Nunez 0-0 with 4 saves. ERA of 0. Hasn't given up anything in 8 games. 12 innings pitched, 6 hits, no runs, 4 walks, and 14 strikeouts. So he'll be facing Swain, Brock, and Deer in the top of the 9th. Brewers lead 5-4, looking to add to that lead. And as we look in the Milwaukee bullpen, we look there, Dan Plesac is loosening the bullpen to come in and try to close the door in the 9th. So that's going to be it for Clear. He's going to go 1 inning. He's going to strike out the side, also walk 2 and give up a hit. Almost a Mitch Williams-like inning, but there he is. So Nunez it is facing Swain. 3-3. And that's going to be a 1-19 home run. It is gone. Dale Swain greets Ed Nunez right off the bat. Look at it again, 3-3 against a right-hander, 1-19. That's gone. Home run, Dale Swain. For Swain, that's home run number 3, RBI number 12. And the Brewers just got themselves an insurance run. As Swain takes Nunez deep, it is now 6-4. And that brings up Glenn Braggs. Glenn Braggs, your batter. 3-5 for Braggs, and that's a 1-10 home run, but that's an 18. It will only be a triple for Braggs. And Braggs, like I said, had 3 triples already. This is triple number 4 for Glenn Braggs. He's had 7 all season. He's got 4 already in just barely over 90 at bats. He's got 4, and he had 5 in 1/5 of his at bats. He's got over half his triples. So Nunez in some serious trouble. Infield's going to have to come in with Greg Brock. That's a 4-6, and that's a strikeout, a much-needed strikeout. They get Brock for 1 away. And that'll bring up Deer. Speaking of strikeouts, he has got the hat trick. What am I doing? That's why I need the correction tape. Should have been scoring it up here. Good thing I have that correction tape. Make sure that we are straight. Okay, so Nunez facing Deer. Deer has struck out twice, not 3 times. It's only struck out twice. Hello, Triple G. Good to see you. Here's Deer. Infield is still in with Braggs at third base and 1 out. That's a 4-9, and that's a fly ball left field B. It's a sacrifice fly to left field, big sacrifice fly. And that will bring home another insurance run for Rob Deer. That sacrifice fly is RBI number 16 on the season, and it is now a 7-4 ball game. 7-4, and here's Cooper. He homered his last time up. Now the bases are clear with 2 outs. It's a 5-9, and that's a fly. I'm sorry, 5-9 over here is a fly to right. Ends the inning, but 2 runs come on. So Nunez, a rough outing. He had not given up any runs previously, but he has now. And that's 1 inning pitch, 2 hits, 2 runs. No walks and a strikeout. And it's a 7-4 ball game, and we are going to the bottom of the 9th. And Dan Plesac will be coming on for the Brew Crew to try to secure the deal and give the Brewers their 16th win. And that would put them right back in a tie with the Yankees, keep them on pace with the Yankees, who had won earlier in the day. It'll be Bradley, Kearney, and Phelps due up for the Mariners. So Plesac will be coming on. On the replay, Plesac is 1-1 with an ERA of 4.70. Does have 5 saves. In 8 games so far, 7 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs. They were earned, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So Plesac, his hold is a -2, so not that the Mariners would run down by 3 runs, but so the only bad part for the Mariners is they got to have Kearney hit. He can't pinch hit for him because there's no other catcher left. Bradley will start us off. 5-8 struck him out. So a strikeout from Plesac, and now Kearney gets his first at bat. And Kearney is not exactly Wade Boggs out there. Kearney on the replay is 1 for 8 on the season, a 125 average. So he's at limited duty. That's a 2-4, and he's going to pop it up to short. Swain is there. 2 down. It's up to Donnell Nixon. I'm sorry, not Donnell Nixon. It's up to Phelps. Nixon was the one who hit for Bradley originally. I just didn't take him out of there. So it's up to Phelps, lefty on lefty. It's a 6-9, and it's a ground ball to second. That's going to do it. Plesac, a 1-2-3 ninth, takes care of business for the Brewers as they win it by the score of 7-4. And with that, the winning pitcher is Paul Mirabella. He pitched the 7th, which means he gets credit for what happened in the 8th. So Mirabella gets the win. And for Mirabella, let's see what his record is now with that victory. Mirabella is now 1-0. That was his first decision. Plesac gets the save. That is save number 6 for Plesac. As Plesac went 1 inning and got a strikeout, gave up nothing else. So, and the loss is going to go to who pitched the 8th inning. The 8th inning was pitched by Huseman, so Huseman will take the loss. And for Seattle, Huseman now with the loss, his record drops to 0-3. Definitely having issues. So for the Brewers, 7 runs on 10 hits. And I don't believe the Brewers, they had 1 error. They had 1 error on Brock, and that was it. For the Mariners, 4 runs on 7 hits. And they committed 2 errors, 1 by the shortstop and 1 by the second baseman. So Reynolds and Quinones, the middle of the infield, commit the 2 errors. And both of them impacted. It had unearned runs. Well, not this one, but the one on Quinones did. Reynolds, his error didn't matter. But that's going to end up what they would have there. Left on base for the Brewers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They left 8 on base. And the Mariners left on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They left 9 on base. So the Brewers go to 16-6. Mariners drop to 9-15. And we look at the standings as the May 1st games are now complete. The Brewers are 16-6. They're an exact tie with the New York Yankees for first place in the American League East. 2.5 games ahead of Toronto, who's at 13-8. Seattle, they were in last place when the game started. They're still in last place. They're 9-15. They're now 7 games back of the Oakland A's. And they are a full game back of 6th place, Minnesota. So that completes the May 1st section of our games. We flip over going forward to May the 2nd, where we have a whole another schedule of the same games we just had, different pitching matchups, obviously. For the first game on May the 2nd, we're back to Baltimore. It'll be Jose De Leon for the White Sox against Mike Flanagan for the Orioles. And tomorrow also will be Game 3 of the Cincinnati Reds St. Louis Cardinals series in History Maker Baseball. That series is tied at a game apiece. It's a 4-game road trip to St. Louis, so they have 2 games left in St. Louis. Then they'll go on to Pittsburgh for 2 games, then they'll come home finally to take on the Cubs. But the game 3 of that will be tomorrow at some point. Don't know exactly when. So I do appreciate you guys spending part of your Friday evening with me, and hope you enjoyed this presentation of Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced. RIP to George Foreman. Sorry to hear that news. 76 years old, and to some people that's old, but to me that's still kind of, not, that ain't 90. That's probably about average age. I think the average lifespan of a male is somewhere in the upper 70s. I'm not sure exactly, but so he had a famous life. I hope he passed away peacefully and didn't have any complications. I don't know anything about it. It's the first I've heard about it. So, but anyway, I hope he will rest in peace. That's possible, Dab. I think married men do live a little bit longer by statistics. So, all right. So that's going to do it from here from the Kingdom in Seattle. When I see you next, it will probably be from St. Louis for History Maker Baseball, Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 3 of the History Maker Baseball series. And next time we see you on Strat Super Advanced, we will be in Baltimore for the Chicago White Sox taking on the Baltimore Orioles. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.